Good morning. This is a little different, us being together during the morning time. I think our guest speaker, Coach Shay, would be okay with me starting out with a little YGG to our student section last night. You all really kept the pet the entire game, so shout out to you all, and of course all of our basketball players who played last night. Okay, here we go. Shaida Brown Williams, widely known as Coach Shay, embodies passion, perseverance, and purpose. From a young age, she excelled in sports and earned all-state honors in basketball, volleyball, softball, and track during all 4 years of high school. Balancing athletic success with academic excellence, she graduated as a salutatorian of her high school class. Her outstanding achievements earned her a basketball scholarship to Duke University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a minor in religion. During her time at Duke, she received the Blue Devil Club Student Athlete of the Year Award and was named to the ACC Academic Honor Roll. When a knee injury shifted her playing career, it opened the door to her true calling: coaching, mentoring, and sharing her faith. Coach Shay's coaching journey spans prestigious programs including DePaul University, Duke University, the University of Texas, and LSU, as well as her beloved alma mater, Bruley High School. She now serves as the Director of Community Engagement for LSU Athletics and as the radio analyst for the 2023 National Champion LSU Women's Basketball Program on the LSU Sports Radio Network. In addition to her work in athletics, Coach Shay is a minister of the gospel and is devoted to inspiring others with the Word of God. For over a decade, she has been the founder and lead instructor of Coach Shay's Boot Camp, a fitness initiative where she blends her expertise, love for God, and passion for people. Through her motto, peace, love, and fitness, she inspires others to live with vitality, honoring both their physical and spiritual health. As a coach, trainer, minister, and community leader, Coach Shay's goal is to empower others to strengthen their faith, steward their health, protect their peace, and live with purpose. Whether on the court, in the gym, or within the community, her legacy is defined by her unwavering commitment to helping others not just add years to their lives, but also life to their years. GPS, please help me welcome Shaida Brown Williams.
Good morning. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here. I got my good friend, Mr. Harlan Bro. Haley Bro, where are you? Yay! Hi, Haley. So she was excited to come back to school. She's been out with a hip injury, but just so excited to be here. And I told him as we were coming, I am always nervous. And I'm nervous because I believe that I'm entrusted to give a message, and I want to make sure that I leave you with something that will impact your life, that will hope to give you a better outlook on who you are and who you've been called to be. So today we're going to talk to you about between here and there. I'm here to share with you about the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King had. He had a dream that one day we will be sitting in an auditorium like this, that girls and boys and men and women from different backgrounds will be able to come together and stand right here. So Ms. Lawrence Winston, I thank you for this opportunity to share, not just with the students, but with the staff on what that means and what it looks like. Between here, where we are today, and between there, that dream that Dr. King had dreamed that one day, little white girls and little white boys, little black girls and little black boys will be able to stand together in brotherhood and sisterhood in a place just like this. And we want to get there. We want to get there that you would dream so big and you would dream so strong that the people around you will be inspired. So between here and there, and as we look and as we take part, Dr. King had a way of inspiring people, and he had a way of making you believe that you could do anything. And as I look at his life, he's actually been deceased longer than he lived. But his dream continues to live, and his legacy continues to live. So I want you to think about someone that inspired you. And what is it about that person, a quality, that makes you want to put that in a part of your life? And I'm going to ask a few people to participate. So think about who that person might be and what's one quality that person has. I see y'all thinking. And I'm not going to, as a coach, sometimes I call on people, but I'm going to let you raise your hand and maybe share a little bit with us who that one person might be and what's the quality. Anybody? Not everybody at once. Yes, ma'am.
My mom and her strength.
Her mom and her strength. And what I do know is that you all come in contact with different people every day. And so, I wish your mom were here to hear that. But because of the strength that she has shown, you keep dreaming to be great. Anybody else? Is there one person? Yes, ma'am. Grandmother and patience. Patience is a beautiful virtue. That sometimes we want to be there right now, instead of realizing there's a journey. So we appreciate your grandmother's patience. Anyone else? Yes.
My sister and her work ethic.
Sister and work ethic. Always striving, always understanding that it takes consistency to get up every day and sometimes do the same thing over and over again. Okay, so we've heard strength, we've heard patience, we've heard work ethic. Up there at the top. Yes, ma'am. And where is she? Please stand. Oh, when everybody said "oh," I was like, she must be in the room. And hear your kindness. Do we understand that we never know what a person may be going through that day? And just a kind word, a hug, a wave can make such a difference. So thank you for your kindness. And thank you for acknowledging her kindness, because sometimes it's easy to acknowledge people who are not in the room. But to acknowledge, oh, tell me your name again. Ella Beth. All right. Oh, she's crying now. Oh, because that's how kind you are. I'm going to take one more. One more. Oh, lots more. I just met Aiden, and she's like pointing at two people at one time. Okay, let's go. Pink sweatshirt. I'm coming over here. Yeah.
My youngest here and her desire to show in my life.
Yes, showing up. It makes a difference when we show up. And not just showing up, but what I hear you saying is how she shows up. Because some of us just show up. I'm here, okay? But how are you showing up? So she shows up with love, and with patience, and with kindness, and with strength. So we got to show up, y'all. That's how we show up. And, yeah.
I said my grandfather and his faith.
Grandfather and faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So what your grandfather has taught you is that even though I don't see it, I believe in it. And there are going to be some things, we don't know what tomorrow looks like, but you got to believe that if I take a step, and y'all are already getting into my message already, so it's confirmation that we're heading in the right direction. Let me get a couple more. I saw someone here. Yes.
My dad and his confidence.
Dad and confidence. She said confidence, she didn't say arrogance. And there's a difference. Confident in that I know who I am. Confident enough to know that I put the work in. Confident to know that I put in the preparation to get to a certain place. So between here and there, we need kindness. Between here and there, we need strength. Between here and there, we need faith and confidence. And hands keep going up. And what I want you to do is don't just tell me. When you leave today, even if you didn't share, go tell that person, send them a text, pick up a phone, write them a letter. And I want to be a better person because of this quality that you have shown in your life, in my life. Yes. Yes. Whoever said me, that yes. She said God and his forgiveness. And we are all forgiven. And we have to learn to not only forgive, but to accept forgiveness. I had a hard time with that. Is that if I made a mistake, to move on to the next thing. To know that I'm forgiven. To know that there is another chance to get it right. All right, so we don't hold you too long. We're going to move on. Don't forget, reach out to that person. Everybody stretch out your hand. All right, so as we stretch out our hand, in order to get between here and there, we're going to talk about our hand today. All right, you can put it down. The first finger we look at is our thumb. What I want you all to do is think about something you're good at. You don't have to share with me, but just think about something that you're good at. And I asked myself, what am I good at? And I think I'm good at listening. Not listening to answer, but listening because people many times need to express how they feel. So think about what you're good at. Now, when you leave here, I want you to actually take a paper and draw your finger, trace your hand. And in each finger, I want you to write something and share that with somebody. So number one, what is something I'm good at? Oops, I went the wrong way. Finger number two, the pointer. Everybody point. Because that's what we all do all the time. For different reasons. Your teachers point because they want to direct you to where you're going. Sometimes we point because you did it. And there are three fingers pointing back at me. So I also have to check myself. So the pointer finger, I want you to think about something that makes you stand out. I asked my son so I shared this with him. I asked him something he is good at. He said dancing. I don't think he's a very good dancer, but he does. Tell me something that makes you stand out. And he said, my smile. And I think it does. So think about something that makes you stand out. Our third finger, middle finger, what's a pet peeve? What's something that, mine is people just chewing on food way too hard. How can you chew lettuce and I hear it? The crouton, I get it, but the lettuce, come on. So think about a pet peeve, just something that maybe you have a hard time hearing or dealing with. Another one is complaining, because we're all given so much, is that find the good in all that we do. Our ring finger, something that you're committed to. Actually, I'm asking a few people to give me this one, because I think when you say it, it holds you a little bit more accountable. What are you committed to? Give me a few hands. Yes. Both of you. So take turns.
To theater, all of the shows I've done, I love doing theater.
So committed to theater.
Yeah.
You dream about it. You think about it. You write about it. You talk sometimes too much about it. They're like, that's enough. We know you love theater. And that's when you know you're committed to it, when that's what you dream about. Yes, ma'am.
My piano.
Your piano?
I've been playing since I was 7.
Awesome. Been playing since you're 7, keep playing. I started playing when I was 10, and then I picked up a basketball and never looked at the piano again. So keep going. Anybody else, tell me something you're committed to. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Me? Yeah, the one with your hand up. Softball? Awesome. You have a good swing? Yes. What position do you play? Awesome. So stay committed to it, and it's a lot of hard work. Anything that we want to be great at, anything that we say that we're committed to, we must work. Yes, Aiden? Committed to your schoolwork and sports. So you're a student athlete. Sometimes I have to tell our students, you're not an athletic student, but you're a student athlete. So always put your academics first and allow that to motivate you in your sports. Yes?
Volleyball.
Volleyball? What are you? A setter? A blocker. Awesome. And when you're committed to a sport, when you're committed to piano, it takes practice, it takes consistency, it takes continuous work. 2 more, all the way in the back, at the top. Yes? Growing your relationship with God. Awesome. It takes time. It takes heart. It takes knowing that He forgives you. Yes. You looking back with the white sweatshirt. Oh, learning different language. I know a little French and a lot of English. All right, last one at the top. Yep, you're looking back. Every time I call on people, they look back. Swimming. Can I tell my swimming story? Duke University. I went to Duke and I could not swim. I couldn't. And coach said, well, we got a swimming workout this morning. I said, not me. She said, yep. She said, we'll put you in the shallow area. And so, we did some running in the pool, did a little jog. Well, I was running, and then I couldn't feel the bottom of the pool anymore. Then I was drowning. And now I'm fighting the water. And one of my teammates said, stand up. And I stood up, and I felt the floor. And the water may have been like right here, but I panicked. I panicked because it was something that I couldn't do. It's something that I hadn't done. And sometimes when we're not comfortable in situations, we panic. And after that day, I had a teammate, and she was a lifeguard. And I raised my hand. I said, can you give me swimming lessons? Because I don't want to ever feel this way again. And sometimes we have to learn what we're afraid of, what are our fears, what are our doubts. And not only recognize them, but be willing to do something about it. And when she said stand up and I stood up, she grabbed the back of my shirt and just pulled me back. You also need people in your life that they won't just give you instruction, but they'll help you to the shallow. They'll help you to areas where you need to be. So I appreciate that, Timmy. Thank you for saying swimming. I'm doing much better now. All right, and then our last finger is our pinky finger. Give me a little known fact about yourself, or think about it. What's one little thing, a fun fact that maybe people don't know? Or maybe some of your friends know, but tell me something fun. Anybody got a fun fact? Yes, both of you. Take turns.
Butterflies like snacking on blood.
I don't think I heard you clearly. Can you say? Okay, hold on. Say it again.
Butterflies like snacking on blood.
Oh, you're telling me a fact about a butterfly. Got it. Oh, okay. Tell me a little known fact about you. I do like butterflies, though. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I can stick a spoon on my nose.
You can sit a spoon on your nose. Do you do that often? Okay, just checking. Yes? Anybody? Yeah.
I have a pug.
You have a
A dog.
pug. Oh, she has a pug. A little known fact. Give me one more. Yes. You've never broken a bone. Anybody else never broken a bone? You have some friends, but some of us did not raise our hands, so that still is a fun fact because I've broken way too many. All right, so don't forget, trace your hand like we used to do in kindergarten, and you're going to write something you're good at, something that makes you stand out, what's a pet peeve, what are you committed to, and what's a little known fact. And y'all, I like to do this because it's great for other people to get to know us. But wouldn't it be great if we really got to know ourselves and talk to ourselves about what are our dreams? I'm here, but I want to get there. And what does that take? I was listening to the radio one day and I heard this song by Ben Harper. Some of you may not know Ben Harper. And he said, with my own two hands, I can change, with my own two hands. I can change the world with my own two hands. Make a better place with my own two hands. Make a kinder place with my own two hands. I can make peace on earth with my own two hands. I can clean up the earth with my own two hands, and I can reach out to you with my own two hands. And as I heard this, Dr. King has impacted our world so much with his own two hands. So today the challenge is, what are you doing? What can you do with your own two hands to impact our world? So Dr. King said, I have a dream that one day valleys, so the low places, will be exalted, and that the mountains and the hills will be made low. And what he was saying, because he was fighting for equality, he was fighting for justice, he said, I have a dream that one day, those that may feel unimportant, those that may be looked over, those that may be depressed, those that may be oppressed, those that are low, I have a dream that one day They'll be exalted. They'll be told that you are good enough. They'll be told that you do make a difference. And I also have a dream that those that are in high places with pride and with arrogance will be made low. And I don't want to be made low to the point that they forget who they are, but understanding that if we're all equal, so if one is exalted and one is made low, that we can all have equality, that we can all be justified in what we do. So again, stretch out your hand for me real quick. Stretch out your hand. And the first finger that we're going to talk about is your thumb. So everybody give me a thumbs up. Thank you. That's saying I'm doing a good job. I appreciate it. All right? So as we stretch out our hand, as we look at our thumb, the first thing I think about is good job. And that's the foundation of fulfillment, is that we have to encourage each other. That, you know what? You're doing a great job. Yeah, you missed that shot, but shoot it again. Yeah, maybe you didn't do as well as you wanted to on that test, but keep studying. Hey, I saw you help her with that exam. I saw you encourage somebody. I saw you show kindness. Good job. And so when we start encouraging each other, that's the foundation of fulfillment. The dreams that we have. Stretch out your thumb again. Has anybody ever had to hitchhike? No, we Uber. What? Absolutely not. My parents would not allow that. But you know what? I was riding in the car today with Mr. Bro. And you mentioned that you had to hitchhike sometimes. If I had a doctor's appointment, we hitchhike, and all that means is that he got a free ride to a place where he knew he wanted to go. How many of you know that we're all hitchhikers on the road of life? We're all hitchhikers. And God has given us a free ride to dream, a free ride to dare, a free ride to be the best people that we can be. But we have to have a foundation, and that foundation is a dream. What's the point of getting in the car and hitchhiking if you didn't know where you were going? I need to go to my doctor's appointment. I need to go to church. I need to go to school. We have to have some place in mind that we want to be. Now, you don't know what the journey is going to look like. So I'm encouraging you all to dream. And I was trying to pick up something. I hurt my thumb a few days ago, and it is much better. I think I have arthritis, but I realized how hard it is to grip if your thumb is hurting. The power of the thumb, the grip that we must have, and we got to get a grip on those dreams. What is it that I want? What is it? If it's to be a better person, to learn how to apologize, to learn how to forgive myself more than anybody else. So as we dream and as we push and as we stretch out our thumb, know that you are good enough. Know how to encourage each other. Know how to be a hitchhiker on the road of life. But we got to dream and know where we're going. Dr. King said faith is taking the first step when you don't see the whole staircase. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know what next week holds. But we have to have the faith, the confidence, the assurance that if I take this step, I'm here. And y'all, I'm a believer if you're going to be somewhere, I tell my athletes this all the time, if you're going to be somewhere, be all there. Some of y'all are thinking about lunch. Some of you are thinking about what your friend might be doing, what your parents are doing. If you're going to be somewhere, give your heart to that moment at that time to know that this is where I am. I'm going to be where my feet are. And so Dr. King said, take the first step. And sometimes that first step is hard. Raising my hand and saying, I need to learn how to swim and will you help me? Was hard. And the first thing she did is she threw me into the diving pool. And I said, I asked you to teach me, not drown me. And she said, but this is the first step. Because the first step is for you to be able to realize that if you want to swim, your feet are not on the ground. And you must be willing to trust me. And I said, well, I'm in this big old diving pool. I got to trust you. And we have to learn to trust each other and to encourage each other. And again, point that finger again. Because we dealt with the thumb, but now we're going to deal with the pointer finger. And the pointer finger is pointed purpose. So when we have direction, you can put your hands down. When we have pointed purpose, we know what direction we're going in. I just told my son the other day, Mom, I need to get there and I need to get there now. I said, get where? Because if you don't know where you're going, why are you going so fast? I will encourage you that direction is more important than speed. It's more important that you know where you're going than how fast you're going. As young people, man, y'all just want to hear, I want it now. I want it here. I want to be there today. When I just encourage you to take one day at a time. One day at a time to get there, understanding that I'll get there, but I got to know where I'm going. I'll get there, but I have to know why I'm going. What's your why? Is it to please your parents? What's your why? Is it to get the trophy? And whatever that why is, you have to know and you have to understand that I got to take the first step. And then the next step is consistency. But it also must be pointed and directed. And as I point my fingers, and we do it all the time, as a coach, as a teacher, as an administrator, we're always pointing, I need you to do this and go there. What I want you all to do is, as I name those names, appreciate the people that have pointed you in the right direction. Appreciate your teachers, appreciate your parents, appreciate your administrators, your pastors, whatever adults, appreciate your friends that say, hey friend, let's not do that. Because sometimes we have to hold each other accountable. One of the hardest things when I was a basketball player and I was at Duke University, we had one teammate and she just didn't run hard enough. And I went up to her and I said, we're tired of having to run because you won't push yourself hard enough. And after I said it, I felt bad. And then I realized, no, if you want people to get a certain place, you might have to point the finger at them sometimes. And that teammate was Georgia Schweitzer. And Georgia was a freshman and I was a senior. And I said, Georgia, you're better than that. And so let's do it. And so you know what? Instead of telling her to run faster, okay, let's get on the line and we're going to race. And I need you to run as fast as I'm running. And she got faster and she pushed harder and she cried every day. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make it. And I said, yes, you can. And I got a few other teammates to join in. Because what we knew is that Georgia was a much better basketball player than we were. But we had to get to her mentality that you can do it. And when Georgia started to lead and we started winning, because she got in better shape, she pushed through, and she made a way. And y'all know what? I don't remember a lot of the scores to the games at Duke University. I don't remember. I know we won a lot of games, but I don't remember. What I do remember were the challenges that me and my teammates overcame. And about 10 years ago, my phone rang and it was Georgia. And I was like, well, I wonder what Georgia's calling to tell me. And I answered, hey George, how's it going? She said, I'm doing great. She said, I had to call you because today I just performed my first open heart surgery. I'm a heart surgeon. And I'm calling you because I remember the day when I cried and I said I couldn't do it. You put your finger in my face and said, yes, you can. And you got to push yourself. So she said, every time I wanted to give up in medical school, I remember somebody pointed at me. Every time I wanted to give up, I remember somebody pointed at me. And she said, you know what? You didn't call me out. You called me up. And that's what we have to learn to do. Not just call other people out. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you in to the greatness that you are. So guess what, friend? I know you might be feeling down right now, but I'm going to call you up. I'm going to call you in. I'm going to call those things that are in you that you may not even see. We need to have people in our lives that see our greatness and they speak to that greatness that's in us. Dr. King said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, just crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. And y'all, Ms. Swanson mentioned I have a boot camp. And there was a lady, we were running up and down the court, and she actually quoted this. I said, well, nobody's in here flying. And nobody's in here crawling. But she said, man, you can't fly, come on, y'all, let's run. If you can't run, let's walk. And if you can't walk, let's crawl. And I said, please, nobody crawl. Just walk fast. But I love the passion because she was encouraging people to keep moving. Whatever it is, and even if you're moving slowly, keep moving. And I love this quote by Dr. King because it reminds me of an eagle. It's that you have to learn to master moments in your life. Tough moments, fun moments, easy moments, hard moments. learn to master them. So when I stretch my hand and I see that middle finger, I'm realizing that this is the tallest finger on my hand, it's the strongest. So I can be strong even in adversity. I can be strong even when it's tough. And I put the eagle up there because the eagle is one of my favorite animals. One of my prayers to God is let me learn from anything and everything. It may be learning what to do, it may be learning what not to do. But the eagle has taught me that when the storms of life come, the eagle spreads his wings and it flies above the storm. So here comes the storm and the eagle gets excited. Because you know what? The wind of the storms will allow me to spread my wings and fly above my situations, fly above my circumstances. And I actually get strength from the storm. Now, a lot of us don't want to hear that. But the reality is, if you're not in a storm right now, you just came out of one, or you're heading into one. So storms mean, maybe I didn't do too well in that test. Some storms may be illness or an injury while you're playing the sport. Some may be sickness in family. So illnesses, challenges, obstacles will come. But like the eagle, we can soar above those circumstances. Now, I have a niece, and we took her she went to the University of Mobile, going there for a track scholarship, and it was right during, a little bit after COVID. And as we are traveling back, so we dropped her off, all of a sudden a big storm happens. And it is storming. I put my flashers on. It was that bad to let the car behind me know, hey, I'm slowing down, because I'm in a storm right now. And y'all, there are times in life where we got to put our flashers on. And you come to school and you might look a little grumpy or might be a little down. Just say, you know what? I'm in a storm right now. And not only do you communicate it, those of us that see people in the storm, we just say, you know what? She's having a bad day because I don't know what went on at home. I don't know what she's going through. So we have to learn to give each other grace through the storms. And my lights are flashing. As I'm driving, I see a car pull over to the side because she's in a storm. And while I can drive through the storm, some people have to sit aside, just like the butterfly. The butterfly is designed to fly. But when the storm comes, because the wings of a butterfly are so delicate, the butterfly says, I'm not flying today. I'm going to rest and take refuge somewhere until the storm passes. So some people need to go to the side. Now, there's some people that were driving so fast in the storm because guess what? They've been in some storms before. And they've learned to navigate through that storm. So as the rain is coming down and the wind is blowing in my car, it's shaking, all of a sudden my seat starts shaking. And it's shaking hard. I don't know what, it's my son behind me. Mama, I'm hungry. I said, we are in a storm. He said, but I'm hungry. And what that taught me is that even when you're in a storm, parents, teachers, even when they're in storms, they still got to show up for you. And so he trusted my driving enough to say, get us through the storm, and I need some Chick-fil-A. Mama, get through your storm, and I need to go to school. Get through your storm, I'm still hungry. 3 years ago, when my son was in high school, we got a call on December 31st, and I remember that day because we were about to head into the new year. And we got a call that 2 of his teammates had been killed in a car accident. And so we processed it, and we talked about it, and we cried about it, and we prayed about it. And I shared that because one of the students that was killed, her mother was my son's teacher. And so he said, Mama, today, Miss Erin had a tough day. And so we cried with her. And he said, Mama, today, Miss Erin, she was good. And then one day, Miss Erin called me. And I said, hello. I said, is everything okay? And she said, I'm just calling to let you know that Seth is doing so great in class, and I'm so proud of him. And I hung up the phone and I cried. Because there's a mother, there's a teacher that's going through a storm, yet she found the time, and she found the kindness, and she found the faith, and she found the strength, and she found the patience to call me, to call her daughter's classmate's mother, to say that I'm proud of your child. And I share that to say that there are people that go through storms, and even though they go through their storms, they don't forget their purpose. They don't forget their direction. They don't forget to master the moments that they've been given. So I wrote her a letter. I shared it with some of my friends that even as we go through, we must continue to master moments. Dr. King said whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. What affected Miss Erin directly affected all of us indirectly. What I do today affects my son and my grandchildren and my children's children's children. So we must always understand that what we do and how we do it matters. So as you stretch out your hand and the next finger is our ring finger. The finger of commitment. To say that, you know what, I'm committed to the cause. I'm a team player. Because what I do affects you and what you do affects me. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. And so we stay committed, we stay working. Where's my piano player? Is it true that the ring finger is kind of the weakest finger or the hard? Do you have a hard time? Yeah. Would you pick it too? We talking about the ring finger. No, I'm just kidding. But as I took piano lessons, I'm like, man, I struggle with this ring finger. And I'm sad to say that sometimes, y'all, there are weaknesses. And you still got to keep playing that piano. You still got to train that finger that I know you're weak right now, but hey, come on middle finger, come on pointer finger, come on thumb, help her out. There will be people with weaknesses that we have to cover, that we have to take care of. When I'm in a circle, I always tell people to hold, instead of just holding hands, interlock your fingers. Interlock your fingers because when I look in them, these are the weaknesses. But if we lock hands this way, I'm covering your weaknesses with my strengths. I'm covering you saying, you know what, I know she's weak today and she's having a tough moment. I got a friend, and when she's having a hard time, I call myself her umbrella. Come on, get under here. Let me protect you through the rain before you get wet, before you get sick. And we have to learn to be umbrellas, to cover each other's weaknesses, to find out what's going on with that person and to help them. And I'm going to talk to some of the athletes a little later today. We're going to talk about teamwork and tenacity a little bit deeper of what it looks like to be a team player. It starts in the heart. It starts in the mind. You got to have the skills. I truly believe that with all my heart. But it's got to be a commitment to the cause. And lastly, Dr. King said, if you cannot do great things, if I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. I'm a believer in little things, little steps, little words, spending a little time, understanding that what we do with the small things. The Bible says if he was faithful with little, then he'll make him rule over much. I gave my son $10 and I said, I want you to manage this $10. He was like, what's $10? Now, in my day, $10 was a lot of money. Today, I don't know if that'll get you a McDonald's meal, I don't know. But he said, what am I going to do with it? I said, manage it. And if you manage it, I'll give you more. Next week, I said, where's your $10? He said, it's gone, Mama. What you do with it? I don't remember. I spent a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here. Next week, here's $10. Manage it well. And this went on for a couple months, and I said, okay, let's sit down because I need you to get it. However you spend it, be able to tell me, don't say, I think a little bit here. Be able to say, these are the steps. This is a pointed direction. This is what I did with this money. And this is how I spent it. And this is why I spent it. Because it's the small things. It's one step at a time. For me to get to the end of the stage, I can take little steps, one at a time, small. I want to share with you, I was at Duke, and I was having a hard time. I injured my knee, and didn't know what I was going to do. I have a twin sister. That's my little known fact. I have a twin sister, and we're total opposites. Total opposites. She called me, and she's like, how you doing? I said, I'm okay. She said, no, you're not. Now, we didn't have cell phones when I was in college. Yes, I'm old. No, I'm not. We just didn't have cell phones. All right? So didn't have cell phones, but every once in a while, my sister would call, like she knew when life was great for me, and when it was tough. And she's like, what's going on? I said, well, I'm struggling with this knee injury, and I don't know how to overcome it. And she said, I heard a poem by a man named Benjamin Mays. And I said, who's Benjamin Mays? She said, he was actually the mentor of Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, what did he say? And she said, I only have a minute, and there are only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon me, and I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it and I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I'll suffer if I lose it. I'll give account if I abuse it. It's a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. And I told her, say it again. Say it to me one more time. And as she said it, she broke it down. You only have a minute. And in that minute, there's 60 seconds. And it's forced upon you, you can't refuse. You can't say, oh, minute, I don't want you today. Come back tomorrow. If you don't use it now, you're going to lose it. So it's forced upon you, you can't refuse it. You didn't look for the time, it just came. You didn't seek it, and you didn't choose it. But guess what? It's up to you. Pointing at you, it's up to you to use it. And if you don't, you'll suffer. If you abuse it, you'll suffer. And then you'll just lose that time. One thing that we cannot get back is time. And how many times have we sat in a class and said, oh, I hope this time hurry up and pass. Oh, I hurt my mom. Just finish, go ahead and finish yelling at me. We wish time away. Time that we cannot get back. A small minute, but eternity is in it. So y'all, as we learn to piece together the small things, the small words of kindness, the small acts of kindness, how much farther we will get. So as I was introduced, I am the Director of Community Engagement at LSU. And we go out into the community and we tell people how great life is. And we want to serve and we want to give and we want to do these things. And I was sitting the other day, Harlan, and I was thinking, how did I get to this position? Sometimes, how did I get from here to there? And what I learned is, I started out at Duke University playing basketball, got hurt, and I was in the best shape of my life. And that time I realized, I don't want to coach. Because my coach said, if you can't play, you better figure out and do something. So I decided I'll coach. Started coaching, absolutely loved it. Moved to Chicago after I graduated. That was the worst snowstorm that I ever experienced. We had a little snow at Duke, but it was nothing like Chicago. I'm telling my age, 1998. And I said, I can't stay here. So I moved back to Brewster, Louisiana, taught and coached high school for 2 years, 2 amazing years. I taught algebra, taught business math, absolutely loved it, coached track, basketball. I got a call one day from my basketball coach at Duke. Hey, you want to come back and coach? Absolutely. Got the chance to go back. And I'm sharing this story because as I look over my life, there was a process in everything. I got hurt. I fell in love with coaching. I moved somewhere, didn't like it, got a chance to go back. The door opened again. Then one day my Duke coach said, hey, I don't want to coach you anymore. Let's go to Texas. Let's go. But she said, I don't want you to coach. I want you to be the strength and conditioning coach. Get those kids in shape. Show them the importance of being in shape. So we did that. 5 years later, I get a call that my father is ill. And I need to move back home. I moved back home and I started training girls. I said, I went through that in Texas so I could come back and train high school girls, but also I could be here for my father. Training girls, one day I get a phone call. Hey, this is Nikki Farkas at LSU. We want you to come coach. Now I told God, I'm not going back to college basketball if I have to move again. Well, LSU was 10 minutes from my house, so I didn't have to move again. And the day I got the job, I went into my father's hospital room and I showed him an LSU hat. Why did I show him that hat? Because my dad wanted me to go to LSU and I wanted to go to Duke. But how God allowed things to come full circle, and I could share that with him. One day, Coach Farkas decided that she's going to go to the WNBA. So usually when head coaches leave, you lose your job. Anybody know Kim Mulkey? Kim Mulkey is the head coach at LSU, women's basketball team. She came in and she said, hey, I got a staff, don't need you. Okay. She said, but you know what? Do you like to talk? Do I? Do I? She said, I'm looking for a radio announcer. So now I get to travel with the basketball team and talk about a game that I love. If you have direction, if you have purpose, if you stay focused, if you learn how to cover your weaknesses with your strengths, if you help people out, things will work out for you. And it may not work the way you want it. You got to trust the timing. And it may not work how you want it, but it will work. So as we stretch out our hand, our thumb finger reminds us that we're hitchhikers on the road of life and God has given us a free ride. We realize that we got to give people thumbs up in life, and you got to get a grip with that thumb. As I point fingers at you, I got 3 pointing right back at myself. As I stretch out my hand, I think about the eagle and realize that we will go through storms in life. But it's how do you master those moments? As I stretch out my hand, I look at my ring finger, the finger of commitment. What are you committed to? What are you willing to do? How hard are you willing to work? How deep are you willing to love to get the things that you want in life? And then as I look at my pinky finger, the pinky of promise. The pinky that said, I promise that I'll do the small things in order to get to the big things. And Dr. King said that I have a dream that one day this nation will rise and it will live out a commitment, a creed, that all of us are created equal. And we're all created equal because we're all given this day to be great and to be wonderful. So y'all, we thank you again for this opportunity. We love you. We just speak greatness over you. And I told Mr. Bro, if I had to leave you with anything, I just want to leave each of you with the statement of knowing that you are called on purpose and with a purpose. But you got to be willing to put the work in. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Thank you. And it's evidence of things that we don't see right now, but we have to keep pushing and keep working to be all that He's called us to be. God bless you, and thank you so much.
All right, thanks again. We're a little bit late, so I'm going to dismiss you, but just a reminder, varsity athletes got an invite, I think, from Ms. Tennyson. Get your lunch at 11:25 and then meet us in Caldwell Commons. So you are dismissed. Thank you.